Hello and welcome to Short Bites Stephen King podcast. I am your host, Jason, and once again, I am joined by Sin from Sin's Book Nook. And this time, we're going to be talking about Stephen King's fun short story, Trucks. You may know this story if you ever watched the movie adaptation that Stephen King himself directed. It's the 1986 film Maximum Overdrive, but we won't be talking about that one too much today. We're here mostly to talk about trucks. Welcome back to the show, Sin. How are you doing?
Doing well. Just haven't done too much today.
No, I was busy. I was out, as I mentioned. I was we to do like to get certain supplies, like school supplies and whatnot. We have to travel to a different town. Excuse
Gotcha.
me. And so while we're out, like we got some school supplies for my son, but I had to stop off at the bookstore too, and I picked up this bad boy.
Oh, I want to get that.
I have uh I have the ebook already, but
Nice.
I spoiled myself and went and got the physical copy for my collection.
Heck yeah.
I thought it was interesting, on the day where we're discussing trucks, we would it's another apocalyptic story, right? I go
Yeah.
get at the same day. Maybe I'm a little too nostalgic about that.
I don't know. Nothing wrong with that.
So,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I definitely need to pick that one up at some point
It's it's
soonish.
it's rather expensive. I don't know if that's a result of books. Like everything has gone up in price. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was really surprised to see the price of this baby when I saw it. Thankfully, it had like a 25% off
Nice.
tag on it, so I was lucky to get that. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I get most of my books secondhand for the most part, but when there's ones I really want, I will buy those new. But
yeah,
95% of my books are usually secondhand.
I don't even buy physical books anymore because I have too many. But with
Fair
books like
enough.
this and Stephen King books, I get those. But um, I got to get rid of some books. The books really have taken over. If you could see my desk here around my laptop, it's just there's piles of books all over the place. It's awful. It's it's like I mean it's a good disease to have, I guess,
Yeah, there are
to
worse
have
things.
books
There
growing everywhere, but there's definitely worse problems to have, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So
There
speaking
is.
of speaking of books, what have you been reading lately, Sin?
I just read Josh Malerman's newest book, which is a nonfiction. It's called Watching Evil Dead: Unleashing the Radiant Artist Within.
Nice.
And it's about writing and creativity. And I'm a big fan when authors have a book about writing and creativity. Like Stephen King's On Writing, I think
Hmm.
is one of the best books on writing I've probably ever read. And Malerman's newest, it comes out the 16th. I sound like a freaking commercial. September 16th it comes out, and it's just so inspiring, and it's cool to like get a glimpse into his life and see like a pivotal moment in time that really like give him momentum to start into his career.
He's had a fascinating life
Yeah,
because he was in a band and toured
they still
for like
play.
yeah, they still play, but I don't think they tour anymore. But
Not
they
like
have
they were.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have albums on Spotify. Have you ever checked that out? It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting music that they
I
play.
I've seen him play live. I was a music journalist, and I had actually back in the day wrote an article on his band,
Nice.
and saw him play a couple times. Like we're both from Michigan, so it's kind of one of those things. Like, yeah, I knew him as a musician actually before I knew him as an artist. Or not art, sorry,
Sweet.
a writer.
Did you ever get to interview him for one of your articles or
I did.
yeah,
I
nice. How
did.
did you know like was he a writer at the time or like
He
by writer I mean was he like known for his fiction at that time?
I can't remember. It was like if it was like 2008 or 9, and it might have been just when he got his first book deal like for Bird Box, cuz
Hmm.
his band had recorded the theme song for the show Shameless. So like that happened, and then I think Bird Box was maybe happened, or he had just got a book. I can't 100% remember.
That's incredible. I did not know that about you. I knew that you did some music journalism before because you brought that up before, but geez,
Yeah.
you should have brought that up before. That's
I
awesome.
don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't do that anymore?
No, it's been a million years.
Oh, wow.
It didn't pay very much, and I wasn't able to make like a viable living. I didn't have insurance, and
Yeah.
yeah. And
Do you-
then I don't know, the way of writing, like a lot of the physical media and places just don't exist anymore. So
yeah. Do you write fiction at all?
I tried to write a book once that was I would say it was a fantasy. I got about 60 pages in and then I gave up. Usually most of my writing's just been shorter form and it was more so like journalism based. Maybe I'll try again in the future. I don't know.
You totally should. It can be rewarding, but it can also be heartbreaking. It all depends, I guess, what you really ultimately want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as mentioned a few times, but we're going to talk about it again. You come from YouTube. That's where we started talking and in
Yes,
our each
yes.
other's comments and whatnot. And your channel's name is Sin's Book Nook. And so, is there anything about your channel or anything else you'd like to promote and talk about here?
On my channel, it's a lot of horror, fantasy, and paranormal. And if I could put a plug for us both, I'm pretty excited for the cryptid readathon we'll be doing again in November.
November, yeah, November, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be fun. The cryptid, if anyone doesn't know, I have a channel too on YouTube. It's Jason's Weird Reads, although I've been on a unexpected hiatus for a long time. That wasn't planned. It's just that I've got so many hobbies right now. One of them kind of had to take a back seat, and I plan on getting back to it. I always do, and I also have like all these video ideas that I want to tackle. Um, but the future is the future and I will get to it at some point. But in November, for the last, I think this will be the third one, uh
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
the cryptid readathon, and that's where we read books about cryptid monster like cryptids, and mostly horror stories. But if you want to join in, you don't have to read horror. You can read nonfiction, anything like Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, those types of cryptids, good old Nessie. We always have fun when we do that. We should like do a live show sometime,
yeah.
and discuss like the books we read or whatever. Maybe this year.
Yeah, I'm into it. I have a flexible schedule, so let me know.
All right. I'll keep you in touch about that. So
Sounds good.
there's something else that we have to do, because on this, not on this, but on my, see, I've got too many things going on here. But on my other podcast, not Jason's Weird Reads, we talked about Stephen King's The Dark Tower series.
Oh, we have to read
We still
the
have to
wind
do The Wind Through
keyhole.
the Keyhole. Yeah.
That one at least is short.
Yeah, it's very.
Not
I've heard very good things about it since we finished The Dark Tower, and we had a lot of fun reading The Dark Tower.
Yeah, I loved
That
it. Amazing.
that series like blew me away. It still haunts me, honestly. That ending.
Yeah, I've been reading some of the books that tie in. I just read The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King, and Randall Flagg is in that one.
Yeah,
And then prior, I read The Stand because Randall Flagg also in that one.
Randall Flagg pops up a lot.
Yeah, he does.
I think Stephen King had a thing for him.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
he's a pretty interesting bad guy because he's so he changes form all the time, right?
yeah. Someone was saying in one of the comments I got on my video about that they would love to see a Randall Flagg origin story book. Like, where did he actually come from? Because you get a little bit in some of the books, you get sound bites about how I think there was a part that said he used to be an actual normal human at some point in time. But
Mm-hmm.
how did he become this weird, like almost
Entity.
in immortal, demonic, maybe trickster archetypes person thing?
Yeah, I would like to see that too. Like, how does that happen to a person? Not that
Yeah.
I want that to happen to me,
Yeah.
but you're
Right.
you're still curious, you know? Like,
Yeah.
how did this come about? Maybe we could uh, figure out how to get him on the show and be like, "Hey, Randall, so where'd you come from?"
Yeah.
That would be
How-
trippy.
Indeed.
So I was wondering, do you have a scene from a Stephen King book or short story that is kind of burned into your memory forever? Something that kind of haunts you or just delights you, and you can't you think about every so often.
Oh, it changes, but I still have from The Stand the image of like at the end where Trash Can Man brings that like atomic bomb into Vegas. And
Yeah,
that just sticks in my brain because like he thought he was doing good and
my life for you.
yeah, it was not good. His brain was just broken.
He was total.
That
His body.
haunts me so much.
Yeah,
And his face was like dripping off in the
yeah.
radiation and
That part haunts me too because
yeah.
he's like so devoted to the Dark Man, Randolph
Yeah.
Flagg, and he's like saying "my life for you" as he's bringing up this deadly weapon. He thinks like you said, he thinks he's doing good for him, but it's nope, nope, not good at all. And his body is like you said, it's melting. He's like totally. He was not all there in the beginning, but now he's
Yeah.
even worse off, right, because of the radiation.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That one haunts me. And then there's just I think a lot of individual moments or characters that I loved. Like I've said before, I really like animal characters and I still think about Oi in the Dark Tower.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters. You
Seriously.
kind of want a dog like that in your life, a dog
Yeah.
that would like would fight for you, but also be like the kindest dog, not only
Yeah.
to you but everyone else who's kind and friendly. You know,
Yeah.
I love Oye. Yeah. What would you say to anyone who? Because I was talking to a guy for Weird Reads just yesterday actually, and he went on uh pretty famous bookish podcast, and his initial reaction to Oi was pretty negative. So what would you say to anyone who dislikes Oi?
I might have misgivings about them as a person. It's like people who don't like animals in real life, like don't like dogs or don't like I mean cats are a little weird. I get it. I love cats and dogs, but people
Yeah.
who don't like dogs, I wonder. Unless they were bit when they were a child, then that, I understand that. There's circumstantial stuff, but
His reasoning is actually pretty sound. He felt like he was manipulated by Oi, like Stephen King was using Oi to manipulate him, and of course he was. But in real life, this guy, from my understanding, he rescues a lot of dogs and stuff.
oh,
He
okay.
does like animal rescues and stuff like that, and he's kind of involved in that sort of thing. So it's not because he hates animals. He just
Okay. Oh,
thought it was like a
good.
writing crutch that Stephen King was leaning on.
But I don't maybe, but it was my
No,
favorite character in the story though.
yeah,
Like, is
I
it a crutch if it's one of my favorite
he's turned
characters in
around
it?
on it too. It's Chris Panettiere. Anyone who's listening to this knows that, and
Okay.
we're talking about Talking Scared, of course, the podcast that Neil McRoberts got kind of mad at him for that opinion, and I found it kind of funny and entertaining. But he said he's since come around. Uh, it was just his initial reaction when the Billy Bumbler showed up. He was like, "Oh, here we go, right?" And, like I'm supposed to fall in love with this dog or this Billy Bumbler now, and you would have to go and listen to that episode just to
Okay.
get his full explanation because I'm not doing it justice. But
Oh,
still, I encourage anyone who hasn't listened to that Talking Scared episode to go and give that a listen. It's very very entertaining.
nice.
So I have another question. I don't know if I asked you this one before, but I'm always curious about this because I used to be in one camp and now I'm totally in the other. And the reason why I switched camps is because I've read a lot of Stephen King in the last 2 years. Read about 20 books of his, I think, in the last 2 years.
Nice.
So, what do you think of Stephen King's endings? Are they good or are they bad?
Some are really good and some are okay. I haven't hit one I thought was really terrible yet. The last book of his I read recently was The Eyes of the Dragon, and I thought the ending was absolutely fantastic in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have or haven't read that one, I don't know. But I thought that ending was really good. And I thought the recent one, Never Flinch,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that ending was decent too.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? I used to fall into the camp where Stephen King can't land the ending. I used to think that. And I don't know why I thought that. I think it was just because people said that, and I'd think about some of the dumb things that do happen in some of his books at the end. And by dumb, I mean like sometimes he'll throw in a ghost where a ghost isn't needed or stuff like that. I'm thinking of the Institute there.
Okay.
There's no ghosts in the Institute until the end when they're running from the Institute that's like crumbling around them, and then there's a ghost, and I'm like, does the ghost need to be there? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I think some are really strong and some are just not as strong. Like I thought The Stand had a strong ending. I thought The Dark Tower had a strong ending.
Yeah.
There's other ones I don't think are as strong of an ending, but I don't think any of them that I've read have been terrible. How many King books have I read? Maybe 30? I don't know. I'd have to
Nice.
actually.
That's a good number though. But
Yeah.
I've read 55, and like I
Okay.
said, 20. I think about approximately 20 of them are in the last year, 2 years actually. And my opinion has changed. I think he does land the ending 90 to 95% of the time, and I don't know why I thought that. It was just a silly sort of jump on the bandwagon thing, I think, because
But it
it's a
was definitely,
popular opinion, right?
yeah, it was a popular opinion. A lot of people have said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my experience from most of what I've read has been pretty decent.
Yeah. Now, what this book that we're or not book, the short story we're about to talk about, Trucks, was adapted to a movie that Stephen King filmed and directed himself. Uh, it's been a while since you've seen it. Do you remember it at all? It's a pretty crazy
I
movie.
remember Emilio Estevez, and I remember
Yeah.
the trucks with like like they almost have like a clown face on
Oh
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
them,
The
and
Joker face, I think.
yeah, like I vaguely remember. I remember like the appliances going all crazy, and
Yeah.
it
And
was
the
quite,
lawnmower and
yeah,
yeah,
campy and
yeah. It's very campy. It's fun though. I don't think you're
yeah,
supposed to take that movie seriously. That movie's
yeah.
gotten a lot of flack too, and maybe some of it's deserved.
I wouldn't say it was good, but it
Yeah,
was entertaining,
it's
right?
entertaining, and that to me is good enough.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, agreed.
it's fun to watch, and from my understanding, pretty sure that Stephen King was coked out a lot through the making of that film. Uh, I have to get my facts straight on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think it's in On Writing where he talks about how he was doing a lot of cocaine during the making of that movie.
That's why
Um,
I'm gonna read the Tommy Knockers next because I heard he was in a cocaine blizzard when he wrote that. So I'm curious to see how
yeah, that was
that
the
is.
end. Somebody actually corrected me because I said that he had toilet paper and facial tissue stuffed up his nose to staunch the nosebleeds
Was it tampons?
while he was writing the Tommy Knockers. It was like getting to that point where it was destroying his body. But
Yeah,
somebody corrected me, and they said it wasn't facial tissues; it was tampons.
it was tampons.
It
They
was,
do that like that's like a military thing too
yeah.
that they'll
Oh,
do. Is like because it absorbs
it'll
absorbs the
absorb a
blood.
lot more blood than
Yeah.
than toilet paper.
If that's happening to your nose when you're doing that drug, you have a problem and should probably stop.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Well, that was the end. I'm pretty sure after that book came out, his family sat him down and had an intervention, and
Oh,
so he decided to sober up,
yeah, good. That's good.
which is good. Yeah, that's really good. I'm glad he did that, but there's some people who have this weird opinion that they wish Stephen King was still fucked up on drugs, because they liked what he wrote while he was under the influence. I like different periods of King for different reasons. I don't need
Same.
him to go back
Yeah,
to that destructive state,
I agree. I think it's like the evolution of an artist, whether it's a musician or someone who works in a paint medium or someone who's an actor. Like they go through different seasons of their lives, and in that they pour themselves, like a part of themselves, into that book.
Hmm.
and it's almost tangible, and then they evolve to the next thing. It's like, if you don't change and grow, I mean, as a person, you're also going to change and grow as an artist and as a writer and all that. So yeah, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, the good old days, things were better then, he wrote better than. Like, I like to
Yeah,
see the new, and like David
absolutely.
Bowie is an amazing example of like such a creative, like doing all these different things and trying different stuff. And I think,
Yeah, and then a sobriety too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there's different stages and different. You're right. You're absolutely right. All right, so I think we should segue now into our discussion of trucks.
sounds good.
Warning to the listener: we will spoil trucks, but it's not very long. As with most of these, they're not very
Super
long.
short.
Yeah, you can go read it and then come back, or if you don't care, because honestly, there's not really all that much to spoil in this. It's
No.
sort of a journey story. You're there for the journey, not to be smacked in the face with a twist or anything like that. But we will spoil it. So just a little bit of information about the short story. Trucks was first published, as a lot of these were, in Cavalier magazine, which is, if you don't know, a nudie magazine. And it was published in June of 1973, and then it was collected in Night Shift in 1978. The story is set in a truck stop where a group of people find themselves trapped after the trucks and other vehicles mysteriously come back to life. The machines circle the diner, cutting off escape, and eventually force the humans into submission, demanding they pump gas for them. The story ends on a fairly grim note. The survivors realize that they've become slaves to these machines, and they have to keep fueling them until I guess they run out. So, what was your first impression of trucks?
uh so since I had seen the movie many, many years ago before it, I kind of knew what was coming, but I didn't remember it that much. And then I can't remember, like, did the movie actually have like an ending that wrapped things up neatly, or no?
It had a stronger ending.
Okay,
Like,
because this leaves it open-ended, very much
yeah,
so.
you know, that happens in the movie with them pumping the gas, and they do it for a long time. And it's kind of funny because it looks like they only do it for a day. And Emilio Estevez looks like he's about to die.
Yeah.
He's got blisters on his hands, and he's like, they have to carry him back into the diner. And you know, I when I was a kid, I pumped gas, and I had to do it all day many times, and it never did that to me. So I don't know. Maybe it was supposed to be like a span of days, like
Maybe.
24-hour periods or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending in the movie is they they actually fight back, and they blow up the diner, and then they get away. And but in this one, we're gonna spoil the ending right away. It ends with them being held hostage. They have to pump the gas, and they've accepted this.
Yeah.
And so they're just pumping the gas, and they look out, and you see that giant long line of trucks. And my first thought was, what happens when you run out of gas? 'Cause it's not forever.
Yeah, that was kind of like the whole thing at the end. There was kind of like a little surmising, like, well, eventually, so many years from now, this will be remembered, and they'll just be like the skeletons of the trucks and the vehicles and stuff that are left
Yeah.
behind. And but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting at one point when the people were like, kind of like, why are they doing this? And someone's like, maybe they're mad. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe they're sick of
Yeah.
being driven where they don't want to go. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. Now that they're like, we're gonna do what we want, you know? Like,
And
I mean,
I
in
was
the movie.
thinking, oh, go
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No,
I
you
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, like, so it happens in this one place, but it's kind of seems like maybe this is happening everywhere all over the world.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure it is worldwide. Yeah,
yeah, what
in the movie it
causes
is.
it?
Yeah, in the movie it's a comet. There's a
Okay.
comet that leaves, like, at least that's what they allude to. There's a comet that leaves like a green sort of mist in the atmosphere. Um, and it's, I guess, affecting the machinery. you got to wonder if there's like is this an alien, if this were in the short story too, would this be an alien invasion story?
Oh, I didn't think
Because
of that.
how is a comet making inanimate, well, not inanimate, but
Like
human
almost
controlled objects?
sentient, maybe
Yeah.
almost sentient.
Well, they do communicate too, remember? Because
Yeah,
they
with
use the
Morse.
horn, the Morse
Yeah.
code. That's how they figure out they want to be filled up with gas.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I was like, in Michigan, there is in one of the Great Lakes an island called Mackinac Island, and on Mackinac Island there are no motorized vehicles allowed.
Really?
So I was like, oh, people maybe try to make their way to Mackinac Island where there's no. But did the boats come alive? Are the submarines doing the same
Yeah.
thing, or is it only just
I don't know.
trucks and
I'm thinking it's
all of them?
all of them, because there were cars too, but there was mostly trucks. I think
Yeah.
mostly the appeal being they're at a truck stop, right? And trucks are kind of scary. I don't know if you've like driven down the highway and you have a truck that's like a big 18-wheeler that's like right on your ass,
Either that or
or
they're next to you and
you're
they
right
might be a
next to you. Yeah.
little swervy. Yeah,
Oh
it's
God.
dang. I don't like
One,
it.
Once I was on the highway, I wasn't driving, I was a kid. And I remember this. There was a truck behind or right beside us, and their trailer was right beside us, and they didn't see us. And they started pulling over into our lane,
Oh my
and
god.
it wouldn't have fit. So the driver honked I believe it was my stepdad, he honked the horn. And thankfully the driver heard that and they went back. But that was terrifying.
Yeah, that's really scary.
A little
I,
scary.
I always think that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where Clark like gets underneath the car with all the
Yeah.
logs on it or the truck and they're
Yeah.
just like, ugh. Yeah, that's also scary.
That would be terrifying. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the ending is kind of bleak. It makes me think of like what's the point of this story? And I think there is a point. There's a theme running here that we've become uh, overly dependent on these things, like our vehicles, because the timeline of us using vehicles and other forms of technology is very short compared to the existence of being human in total. So let's just put it to a clock or something like that. If a 24-hour clock was humankind up until this point existence, it'd be like the last 10 minutes of us using technology, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird when you think about that we have become so utterly dependent, not just on cars, but like now with computers, cell phone, the internet. It would be interesting to see somebody rewrite the story with that kind of stuff in mind, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how would you, if you were to write this story, how would you implement cell phones and the internet? What would they do?
Electric cars, battery
Electric cars? Yeah,
powered
geez.
trucks.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh.
That
Well,
would be
if everyone
terrifying,
had
right?
cell phones, it would probably be like the cell phones went out too because the comet
Yeah.
struck and no one can use them to communicate. And like, but someone's grandma has a landline and someone else has a landline. So they have to go back to using landline telephones or something because all this stuff's all screwed up because this comet fell down from the sky and is making all the machinery and technology go haywire. Maybe the trucks go and destroy cell phone towers, or
Yeah.
they go and they hit like run into buildings that have like big servers that hold a bunch of information. I don't know.
Yeah. And they'd probably mess with emergency services.
Yeah.
It would also probably maybe some phones would blow up in people's faces, because
Oh yeah.
we've all heard of stories of like iPhones blowing up
Yeah,
and
that's
like
scary.
severely hurting people, right? That'd be awful. I could see. I mean, you could you could use it for today's world and have misinformation being thrown at everyone too, and people
Yeah.
believing it, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh God. That would, yeah. In a sense, we are kind of living in a world like that now that I think about it, because
Yeah.
people are using these tools to like for propaganda and other, for their own gain, and people are falling for it. and that's one reason why we have the messed up world we do today.
Yep. Sucks. Scary.
So we're living in trucks.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
at least trucks, the ending gave us a little bit of hope that eventually the trucks would run out of gas and stuff and not be able to keep terrorizing everybody.
Yeah, that would be nice, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I could go back though. I don't think I could go back to a more simpler time. I'm too used to my creature comforts here.
Yeah, I don't.
mean, when the power goes out, are you not like lost?
Well, I'm not. And the
No?
only reason I'm not is because I love camping. And we
Okay.
have so much camping stuff. Like we have like a little power station. As long as I can have lights and read, we have battery light bulbs that go in
Okay.
the lights and stuff that we can put in there. Those last for quite a long time. I have my books is if I didn't have books to read, yes, I would be going insane.
Yeah.
But I usually am like, okay, power's out, time to read.
I can go with
And
that.
yeah, and then we have a grill outside. So usually we'll just like cook on the grill for dinner if we can't order something from somewhere if the power's out.
I can go with that. I mean, long as I have reading. I don't need my cell phone.
Yeah. Without the books though, I would definitely I don't know.
Start
I don't know.
scratching your eyes out. Yeah.
Yeah. I go on a walk. I don't know.
One more thing about this story I wanted to talk about is the characters. It's interesting because Stephen King is known for his character work and all that. And all these characters, they feel real, but they don't. Technically, they kind of don't have names.
Yeah, the main character didn't have a name, did he?
No, nobody
Yeah.
calls him anything, and he
Yeah.
doesn't tell anyone his name. There's the guy that works, the counter worker. There's the truck stop, or the what is it? The trucker guy. There is one person who's named Jerry is named, but yeah, the truck driver at the counter.
Is Jerry? Oh, the kid.
Yeah.
Snodgrass was the
Oh, there was another name. Yeah, Snodgrass.
salesman. I have like a paragraph of notes. I don't have much on that story because it was so short.
It was pretty short, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Jerry and Snodgrass are the only names I wrote down.
I don't know how I remembered Jerry, but I didn't remember Snodgrass. I mean, Snodgrass, that name.
It's it's a unique one.
It is very unique, yeah, to say the least.
It makes me think of snozberries.
Yeah.
The snozberries taste like
Snozberries,
snozberries.
Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly, this story, I don't know what you think about this, but I think the story is more about the message than the characters. But the characters played a pivotal role in delivering the message. And that
I think so.
We become reliant in our way of life, and we'd probably be lost if it all went away.
Yeah.
And so it's perfect fodder for them to come and actually enslave us with force. AI, anyone?
Yeah, jeez.
I went there.
Yuck.
And also, there's also an interesting point that stories like this isn't the first time Stephen King wrote about people being stuck in a place. Like The Mist. Stephen King wrote The Mist, where people are, if anyone listening to this doesn't know, which I'm sure they all do, they're all stuck in a grocery store. Also Under the Dome. There's some others. Usually, though, in those stories, the characters like split up into groups, but he doesn't really do that here. They just kind of bicker at each other whether or not they're gonna be do what the machines want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this story really has ground to be longer and more expanded. Do you think so, or is it just good where it's at?
I think it's good where it's at because otherwise they'd have to come into a conclusive ending that might make it. I mean, how do you? I guess you just have to do some math and figure out how long it would actually take for the world to run out of gasoline that the trucks could actually access.
Yeah.
Or if something else happened where, well, this was, you said he wrote this story in like the early 73 is when it was first published.
I believe it was 73. Let me go back up here. Yep, it's
So
1973. So he probably wrote it anywhere between 1970 to 1973.
yeah, so battery powered cars were not even in the consciousness of people yet. I mean, there might have been the idea of it behind closed doors in the scientific and engineering communities, but no one really had that thought. So maybe the trucks never would have picked up on that, because if they did, then they'd be like, okay, maybe we can get these humans to install batteries where you can just go to charging stations and somehow set up the charging stations to charge themselves so they can just keep on trucking.
Yeah. I like that. And it just never ends.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think where it ended is actually, now that I say that out loud, probably it's probably good. It stopped there. We'll just leave it to what could happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like to think that this story serves the idea that humans are nameless entities continuously serving the machine and to be replaced once we're dead. It's a grim. I think it's ultimately like an anti-capitalist story with that in mind, and I kind of liked it. What was your final thoughts of this story?
I liked it, as I like most of his stuff. Like, I didn't think it was an amazing story. I didn't think it was a bad story. I thought it was a decent story, and it was entertaining and I guess somewhat thought-provoking.
Yeah, I liked it, but it doesn't really stand out. It doesn't pop.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. Like some of the things happening in it are interesting. Just machines coming alive and killing everyone is interesting on its own. But it doesn't really pop for me.
Yeah.
It might have the first time I read it, but I don't really remember that because it was so long ago. It was like early 90s to like the aughts somewhere when I read this for the first time. So not too much I remember from those times. But yeah, I liked it too. It's a good story. It's not the best in the collection, but it's certainly not the worst.
Yeah, I like the other one we read better. The Salem's Lot one.
Yeah,
that's in this one. Not the book Salem's Lot, but the short story we read that was in there.
Yeah, Jerusalem's Lot. That was very Lovecraftian and yeah, it really flowed in that sort of way. There was like a lot of interesting things happening, gothic things that were fun.
Yeah. You got more of an origin story about like where some of the evilness may have came from.
Yeah. So before we go, are there any books? Like 2025 is starting to, we're getting into the fall.
Yay.
Already. It's like, what, wasn't it just yesterday when it was like February, you know?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, it was.
I don't understand how I'm going to continuously say this every year because it bothers me how quickly time passes with each and every year.
Yeah.
But are there any books that you're looking forward to reading before 2026?
Definitely gonna read the Tommy Knockers.
Mm-hmm.
And I am slowly working my way through the Witcher series. I am now on to book. It's weird. I read the first 2 books, which are short stories, and they don't count that as like 1, 2, or 3. So
yeah,
I've read 2 of those, and then I've read books 1 and 2 of the series. So now I'm going to be on book 3. So I'm going to read that. And if there's anything else, oh, I did put on hold at the library Ozzy Osbourne's biography, Last Rites.
Nice. I got the audiobook for that.
Nice.
And I want to listen to it. It's hard for me to get to things because I'm always reading stuff for the podcasts and whatnot. But yeah, Ozzy is high up there. I was so surprised and yet not surprised at his passing. I guess I'm assuming that was upsetting for you as well.
Yeah. The last concert I went to was Ozzy Osbourne's No More Tours before COVID. Nice. That was the last concert I saw.
You got lucky because that got stopped, and then he got injured again with his motorcycle, the injuries from his past motorcycle accident. I'm sure you know all about this.
Yeah.
And then that was it, right? He never really recovered from that. So yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah. And I mean, I had seen him at a bunch of Ozfests years ago and all of that. But yeah, that he made it a lot longer than a lot of other people in rock and roll.
Oh,
I mean,
for
he
sure.
was what, 76?
7, I think. 76,
77.
77, somewhere in there. That's pretty old,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
It would
sorry,
have been nice to have him around.
rock and metal.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have him around for, with that last concert that they did,
Oh yeah.
the end or whatever it was called,
I got choked up because I
or
was like,
back to the
oh,
beginning.
when he was in his throne singing, like
Yeah, that
I
was so
almost,
sad because he was crying,
yeah,
singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home,"
yeah,
and that was tear jerking. He knew this was the end. This was
yeah,
no, money grabber. We're going to be back in 5 years or 2 years, saying we're back. No, this
yeah.
was
They
the end. Yeah,
he for that show he went off all his pain meds, and I guess they raised like $179 million for like children's cancer fund or something as well.
yeah, that was
And I'm
really
like,
good.
yeah, what a way to what a way to go, man. Ugh.
Not everybody gets to say goodbye like that,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
was really perfectly sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad. I remember watching bits and pieces of that concert, and then like what 2 weeks later he's passed on.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is sad.
Oh well. I have trouble picturing a world without Ozzy in it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
He
Well, I
lives
want to
on in his music and
absolutely like
all of
I
that.
think there's a quote. I don't know if it's by him or by somebody else, but it's like if you miss Ozzy, just press play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too. Well, thank you so much, Sin. It's always great talking to you. I always have a lot of fun when we sit down and chat.
Me
And we
too.
have some chats coming up too, like when through the keyhole. I don't know when we'll
Yes.
do that. Maybe we'll do that by the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, let me
Maybe
know.
we can do it for like December or something like that.
I'm
If you're up
down.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd be
absolutely.
down
That
for that?
one's like I said, that one's a shorter one, so that one shouldn't be.
Should
That's
be pretty easy, yeah.
yeah, it's not one of his chonker of a
His
book.
door
So
stoppers, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. Like The Stand. I've been reading The Stand almost all summer.
it took me a month, I think, maybe close. It was either a month or 2 months. I think it took me a month to read. I picked it up and I put it down, and I pick it up and put it down, and then I'd read stuff in
Yeah.
between it. I thought I was gonna fly through it, but it would be so intense at parts, and I'm like, I'll take a little break.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take a break from this.
it's a reread for me. I'm rereading it, but I'm taking my time too. I'm not storming through it. I'm doing it somewhat on purpose. I just want it to last because I love this story so much. And I'm not a big fan of where I'm at now, like the last half. I still love it. I love the
Yeah,
ending, but that first 300 pages really blew my socks off every
yeah,
time I read
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's
All
a good
right.
one. I was a
Well,
big fan of Kojak the dog in that. Also,
yeah,
Tom
Kojak, yeah.
Cullen.
Tom Collin is
Love
awesome.
him.
Yeah. I love all the characters because they're all
Yeah,
very unique.
yeah, yeah.
Even the ones that you kind of hate,
Even
like
Trash Can Man.
Trash Can Man, Harold.
Oh,
Harold is
Harold.
Harold is such a
God,
nasty character, but you can't help but
he
love.
was young and dumb.
Yeah, young and dumb, and pain.
Yeah,
Emotional pain because he loved Franny, right? And
yeah, and it
Franny
was
turned
his
him down.
first love. The
Yeah,
first one hurts the most.
yeah, and so that drove him to the dark side, and there's something to be said about that,
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, that's awesome stuff, man. So thank you for chatting with me about Stephen King and books and all this wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you again shortly.
Sounds good.